Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Subnautica. It's been a little while, but there has been a new update since we last played, and I was also asked if I wouldn't mind going to check out the new updates that have happened since we last played, and I figured why not. And first of all, we have these bigger, cooler-looking reefbacks, and in fact, they seem to be more frequent as well, which is pretty cool. And they're bigger. They have stuff growing on them, which is pretty cool. Mr. Reefback, I hope you don't mind me riding on you. And they have all kinds of stuff. They have these little bulby things, whatever this is. It's very dark and spooky right now, but as long as we've got the wriggling stuff growing on the back of a reefback, we're probably fine. And the sun is setting. Wonderful. Well, I'm gonna just dive on down here. The real action is going on in the Lost River, though, so we're gonna want to find that. You can also probably tell here that I'm playing in creative mode because I figured, you know, we're mostly just going for a bit of a quick look today into things. So once I reacquaint myself with everything, because things have changed a little bit, as you can see here. I mean, I love the fact that there's a lot more reefbacks, though, especially compared to sand sharks. Because reefbacks are fun, they're friendly. They're loud and everything, but when you hear them, you know you're okay. And also, since this is creative mode, I'm basically invincible. But I assume Reaper Leviathans are still gonna be dicks, so I'm probably still gonna get scared at least once, especially since it is nighttime. Alright, now, somewhere around here, we should start finding the edge of, what is this? This is a large, flat, open area, so I think this might be getting close to Reaper Town. I've been moving in a southwesterly direction, so I think I might need to go further south, actually. No, I don't actually remember. Is it over this way, or am I heading into Reaper Town? I forget. And the map's changed a little bit as well, so that could affect things. Why am I scared of Reapers? I mean, it's not like they can hurt me, since I'm in creative mode and I'm completely invincible. I could be swimming around naked out here. Ooh, music stopped. That's always ominous. I think it's because it's mostly the darkness that's kind of spooking me here. And the game hasn't said, hey, warning, there's Leviathan-class life forms out there. It's silly, really, that I should be scared when, you know, I'm so obviously... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, bit of lag as the world loads around me. Am I falling into... No, I'm not falling into... Oh, but we are at the Grand Reef. Okay, that's good. I can tell because of the brain things. Actually, this is definitely the trench where our original base was, which kind of makes me wonder... Wait a minute. You know, I may have been going in the wrong direction. I think I should have been going southeast, and I've been going southwest. But there's still an entrance to the Lost River down here, so... It's not like we have too much to worry about. There's also finally precursor bases available to go exploring in, which is pretty fun. Pretty cool, I think. At some point, I'm going to cut away until we actually find the entrance to the Lost River. I could just use admin commands to warp in there, but I might as well try to explore it and find it on my own. Oh yeah, here's a wreckage, a hunk of ship, just kind of hanging out there. All right, so we're in more or less the right area, I think. Excuse me, sir. More or less right area. Alright. It's always fun playing Subnautica again. And I'm probably not going to do too many more videos between now and the actual full release, just because every update sort of forces you to start over again, and that does kind of get a bit tedious after a while. I mean, I understand why it's necessary. I have no idea why that seemed weird and different to me. And also, when this latest update is added, what is it? It's like Vive support? It had virtual reality support before, but I guess it's a bit more, there's more of it now. Which also means that someday, should I ever have the money to invest in VR, I'm probably gonna have to do at least one episode of Subnautica in VR where I just, like, swim up and get eaten by a Reaper Leviathan. Maybe even with face cam. We'll go all in with it, so you can watch my horrible, disgusting face twist into horrible, disgusting positions that man was not meant to see. or something like that. I'm very self-conscious about my face, apparently. But we're safe and sound back in the Grand Reef, and performance seems a bit worse than it did previously. I'm not sure if that's because of creative mode or if just there's that lag in, you know, just loading in a new area. Also, this looks like a cave to me, so we're finally getting to the right place. But the Lost River, I've seen some pictures of the update, and it looks like it's going to be really cool. And ooh, there's just a diamond hanging out here. This is a diamond, isn't it? Eh. There we go. Yoink. Altera's not getting my diamonds. Ooh, look at... Also, as you can see, I put the little temperature upgrade doohickey on, so we can also see how cold it is down here. A titanium mass somewhere in this area. Unable to confirm whether it originated on the Aurora. So that would be the sea base. And there's some lovely geysers here, so it's getting very hot, which means this would be a very good place to build some kind of Oh, shite. Leave me alone, you jerkbag. Oh, I hate... Were these here before? I don't recall. I have to assume they were. There's another diamond. Lots of diamonds down here. That's good. That's good. Alright. I mean... I might want to... What the heck was that? Hello? Oh, wait, that weird sound was the crab squid, wasn't it? Man, they make some weird noises. Then again, the ocean is full of weird and scary things, even in real life. That's why it kind of spooks me in real life. But it also fascinates me. Ah! Oh, Jesus! Just like that. I mean, that was a serious invasion of my personal space, good sir. This looks like the exit to a cave, so I think that means that if I really want to find the Lost River, I gotta turn back. It's around here somewhere. And I'm pretty sure there is an entrance relatively near that Degassi sea base. Leave it to the Mongolians to find this stuff. Just to clarify what I'm going on about there. The Degassi was owned by a Mongolian, what was it, like a space mining corporation or something? And, yeah, typical Mongolians, really. They are always the first to do everything. Yes. Alright, so clearly I'm lost, so I'm gonna wander around here for a little while until I find the Lost River entrance, and I will see you guys when we get there. Alright, here we are. Yes, I'm pretty sure here we are. This looks kind of like the Lost River to me. And down we go. If I recall, I think this brine is like really acidic or deadly these days. Not that it can hurt me since we're, you know, in creative mode and pretty much invincible. Is it... There might be different kinds of brine. I forget whether the brine is meant to be explicitly dangerous, which is, I guess, the problem with playing in creative mode. I can't really show that off. It's also really, really cold down here. Like, it's still above freezing, so I guess that's a good thing. I mean, as long as it's above freezing, we can't freeze to death or something, probably. Which is always a good sign, I would say. Alright, but the big action is probably over in Jan Bones Field. I don't know why I felt like saying it that way, but I did. Oh dear. Is this pink? Is the interior of my thing pink? I thought I made it to be cool, badass red. Oh well, pink's pretty badass as well if you're tough enough to deal. Also, the fact that I'm just noticing the color of I have colored my prawn suit is a pretty good indication of how little attention I am paying to what I'm doing. Which is probably not a good thing. But on the other hand, at least it'll result in hilarity when I inevitably screw up. Possibly. Then again, it's probably not good for looking particularly professional, is it? But we have finally made it to the Bones Field. This has a weird new sound that's kind of scary. Wait, is there anything making that noise, or is that just like the background? Kind of interesting. Also, look at this! The brine falls look so much better now. I mean, that is sexy as hell. And down we're going. Whee! Into the brine. Nah, we'll stop just short of it. Alright, look at the size of this thing. Kind of feel like spawning in a Cyclops for oh, hello there, little friend. There's a new creature to play with here. And what is your name? You look kind of scary. You're like a living skeleton, actually. I've also seen some pictures that if I recall correctly, they're not in this build, but they have added, like, there's a Reaper skeleton that'll eventually be down here somewhere, which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because given the kind of serpentine nature of the Reaper, you'd almost figure that it wouldn't have bones at all. Hi there, friend. You can't... I am, like, completely safe, right? I'm just gonna swim up to this guy to say hello. Hi there. Hi. Gonna get right up in your grill here. Look at that... Look at his little face. Look at that little face. How could you say no to a face like that? You know what? Let's actually spawn in a Cyclops here. Let's see. F3, pause, so I can click on the little console-y dealy. Turn this off. Hit the tilde sign, item. Wait, is this right? Or is it spawn Cyclops? Well, I've picked up a Cyclops, apparently. Because, you know, you can totally just fit that in your pocket. That's hilarious. I didn't realize I could do that, but the fact that I did is pretty cool. Alright, so here is this. Also, we're deep enough that this is probably gonna, since I don't have any upgrades on the Cyclops, it's probably... That disappoints me in every way. But that does explain how I could fit such a thing into my pocket, I guess. Alright. What I meant to type was spawn Cyclops. Not fine. Oh, no, it's not Cyclops, is it? There's a... What is it? It's submarine? Is it? I wasn't planning on doing this, which is why... Alright. We'll worry about that later. I wasn't intending to do that on camera anyway. Just came to me. Of course, then again, I suppose what I could do would be a little something like this. We spawn. This is not going to end well, probably, for me. Now that I've got the idea in my head... The heck was that? Like a child grumbling. Alright, I fought for a second. I knew better. But I fought for a second. I could have, possibly just put the fabricator on the floor somewhere. Which would have made no sense.
Warning. Emergency power only. All primary systems.
Oh god, don't do it. Ah, we're in creative mode. I can do whatever I want. Oh yeah, see? No power. I'll show them. I have a feeling this is not going to end up working well for me. Because this is supposed to float up to the surface. But I'm going to try it anyway, dang gummit. Alright. Okay, Mr. Vehicle Bay. Mr... Yeah, that's just not going to... Alright, never mind. Just suffice it to say that this skull is big enough that whatever it was in life, it could have probably eaten a Cyclops. So, yeah. Alright, let's wander around, because I have heard and seen... I'm pretty sure I've seen the pictures as well, back when this update first came out. They've added some more bones, I think, to this part of the world. Plus, they've made the tree grove area, ghost tree, grotto, cove, whatever you want to call it. They've made it more exciting. Look at these glowy plant things. They add so much life, don't they? Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Alright. But basically, and the idea of the Lost River, as you can imagine, is that... Oh, that actually looks cooler. With all these new plants and stuff, and the actual flowing river and the waterfalls. I'm sure that there was mention of there being more skeletons lying around here. Maybe if I went upstream, or downstream, I guess. This is upstream, which is leading us back out into the, what is it? The Bloodkelp Trench? Bloodkelp Trench. That's it, right? I'm not good with the names, as you can probably imagine. Alright. But, let's see. Yeah, that's just taking us back out to the Bloodkelp area. So let's go to the tree grotto. pretty sure it's either in here or maybe down in the lava zone that there is now a precursor base. I'll be entirely honest. I just kind of jumped in today to just explore, and I didn't actually review what has all been added in this update, which is not very professional at all, and is kind of an ongoing problem of mine. I'm always more excited to just explore these things than I am to actually properly read patch notes. I mean, I do read patch notes, but then I tend to forget about them by the time I actually go to record, and then I end up... I mean, at the very least, I guess it means I can be surprised along with you guys if and when we find some cool stuff. Ooh, what's this? This is something new. What's this? It looks new to me anyway. Can I pick it up? Can I touch it? What do you do, Mr. Plant? You do nothing right now. Maybe someday, but not today. Alright. So let's go back on down into the bone... Why can't I not talk today? Into the bones field. Boons, boins, whatever I was trying to say before is not what I was really trying to say. Yes. I don't know, I wonder about myself sometimes. I have a fat tongue, which is my excuse for why I have a hard time saying words sometimes. A fat tongue and a small mouth. Yes. At least, yeah. Try not to picture that. I imagine that could give someone nightmares. Probably. Possibly. It'd probably give me nightmares if someone said, oh, I have a really small mouth and a fat tongue. And then, you know, you never actually see the person's face, so you can't really put into context what that means in, like, real-life proportions. And you start imagining someone with a tongue that's, like, 6 feet wide and a mouth that's only 6 inches wide. I don't know. That would be horrifying. How would you fit that? Like, how would you even talk with a 6-foot wide mouth or tongue? 6-foot wide mouth, you could probably talk just fine. I mean, as long as the rest of you was proportional to a 6-foot wide mouth. You'd be pretty big if you had a 6-foot wide mouth. You could eat a lot of stuff. Frankly, 6 feet wide, that'd probably be enough to eat... Oh, there's some more bones over there. What could you eat with a 6-foot wide mouth? Probably a great white shark. Maybe even in one bite if it was a small one. And you know what? I am actually glad that the Ghost Leviathan, Phantom Leviathan, whatever you want to call it, is not here, and probably won't be here until at least after 1.0. In fact, I would rather if it didn't even show up in here, but in a new area. Because I like the fact that the Lost River is a mostly peaceful place. You know, there's not really any big predators. There's just those, like, little bony fish, which I kind of imagine them as being more like scavengers anyway. Ooh, what is this? This is also something new. Cool plants, cool stuff. It's getting a little darker down here. Oh, are those more bones over there? Let's get closer and find out. Pretty sure there's like... I remember reading somewhere that... Somewhere down here in the Lost River there's something that sort of... Like the idea that there's the bones of like all kinds of creatures that have... wandered down here and got lost and then died over the years. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Maybe I'm imagining it. I mean, I like the idea. From a narrative perspective, that does sound pretty interesting. Kind of scary, too, when you think about it, since, you know, just implies a lot of sadness, really. Ah, here's some more brine. Blue brine. Incidentally, I was reading on the Subnautica subreddit the other day, and because there's always cool information there, I feel like I sounded sarcastic when I was saying that, but I do mean it genuinely. There was actually a link to an article. Apparently in Mexico, there is a lake that has brine like this down on the bottom, and if you swim in it, you'll probably die. Brine, that is. Because it's like really, really toxic. I think it... Oh, there's like really acidic or something? And other stuff. Like, it was just composed of like a really dense material that is also extremely toxic for people. I love this place. I feel like I am still missing something, though, so we're probably gonna have to come back for at least one more episode after this to explore and see other cool stuff. It is really cool down here. I mean, without that little temperature thing, it's really hard to appreciate that. Also, I kind of hope they, it's getting noticeably warmer now, though. I kind of hope, like, looking at, this and all, I kind of hope they adjust this at some point, because if you have the little HUD icons here, then you can't put on the other little, like, points of interest markers. But then again, they might change that eventually anyway. Which Yeah. Lovely music down here, isn't it? See, we're slowly starting to transition into the lava biome, as there is, of course, lava here. And it's just beautiful, really. And it also, the thing about games like this is that it really also makes you appreciate just the beauty of our own world, doesn't it? Because when you look at this, and then it kind of makes you think of places that actually exist in our world, and just like the freaky and the amazing and the beautiful and the weird and the bizarre, and there's some moss there, and just the awesome stuff. Like games like this, which is why I like when there's not an abundance of horrible, like, killing monster things that are trying to destroy me. Because I kind of like the more peaceful... Don't do it, man. I kind of like the more peaceful aspects of games like this, where you're just kind of... Just exploring. That's a big hunk of diamond or something here. No, it's not diamond, it's like... Oh, what is the name of this material? What are you called, Mr. Stone Chunk? Well, I can't see your name from here. But you're used to create, like, the actual, like, top tier level stuff. Music's really ominous down here, isn't it? But that's the lava zone for you. Which, actually, I really appreciate that the Sea Dragon is not nearly as aggressive as the Reaper Leviathan. Like, it'll attack you and all, and it'll kind of swat at you, but it doesn't go out of its way to be an asshole. You know? Which is what I imagine something that big would actually be. Like, would it really bother with tiny guys like me? Well, probably, if it's hungry, especially because, I mean, from a logical standpoint, you gotta kind of wonder what it is exactly that the Sea Dragon is eating to actually survive, especially since the story of this game implies that all life on this planet is slowly dying due to some kind of disease. Really makes you think, doesn't it? What are they eating? Maybe they're eating each other. I mean, you especially gotta wonder about the Reaper Leviathan, because they hang out in areas that don't seem to have much life. Are they cannibalizing each other? Do they wander off and eat reefbacks? These are all good questions. Questions that don't have answers right now, and I suppose, to some extent, you're supposed to gloss it over for the sake of gameplay and such. But anyway, I think that's enough exploring for now. We're gonna have to come back again, because I know there is a precursor base around here somewhere. And I'll have to look up exactly where that is for next time. But for now, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed our little trip back into Subnautica, and I will see you all in the next video.